Hi, sir. My name is Gorgeous, and welcome to the 12th event of the Marble League, as we're about to enter the home stretch of it, balancing. We'll take a look at our course. A really tough one set up for today. And see if you can keep your contending spots. Some teams like the Limers are in danger, other teams like the Hazers are also in danger of the lead. Limers are in danger of the championship, and every single team today has something they need to prove. We're going in the order of Mellow Yellow, and the Thunderbolts, the Gliding Glaciers, and the Oceanics, Indigo Stars, then the Bumblebees, then the Cobalts, and then the Shining Swarm. Our current record holders, the Crazy Cat says at 90, then the Java Chunks, Minty Maniacs, and then the Limers, the White Wolves, Hazers, Turtle Sliders, and Team MOBA to cap it all off. So look, get a lot of speed as you work as a team in our second team event. Before you go down this, try to knock as many technique points as you do. The worst two, unless you make it all the way to the end. You're in 5. This event will actually be measured in inches, due to the fact that it unfortunately cannot be measured in centimeters. However far you go is how much you score, unless if you finish. A technique point there is worth 5 points instead of 2. Wherever you finish and you fall off is how, in inches to the nearest inch, is how many points you'll be getting. And if you finish, you get 40 no matter where you finish. You just have to get past the last obstacle. This is how it will be also scored as a placeholder. One from each team. Normally it will be the farthest, but sometimes teams do other ones. This is the 61 mark. 62 would go here, and 60 would go here. Now we've explained all the rules. Let's get ready with the heat. First up, once again, we have Mellow Yellow, going in the order of Yellow, Yellop, Yella, and Yelly. We'll try to get some of the highlights. You got a few technique points. Let's see if we can zoom all the way out. They got 2 going in similar places. They'll be awarded with a 24 and a 23. So that's a 47. One of them actually still not on the board. That still gives you the same amount of points at a 14. So a 61. And lastly, an 8 was 69. And then add that up to 2 technique points. A 73. That puts them in first, but they are the only ones to go. We'll see if that ends up being a good score. Next up, we have the Thunderbolts with Shock, Lightning, then Bolt, and Thunder. It's going relatively far, and some nice technique points to add on to that. Let's see, so first up we have Thunder, who gets a score of 17. Bolt gets a score of 14, which puts him at 31. A 42 when you add Lightning. And then with Shock, they're going to call 6 or 7 a 6, which means a 48. Then you add the technique points, which they got 4 of. A 56 puts them in second, but they are far off of Mellow Yellow. Third team up is the Gliding Glaciers, going in the order of Glide, Glace, Glacy, and Glacier. Let's see what they're scoring today. Ooh. So Glide's actually going to go pretty far. Overall, it's not going to be a bad run at all. 25 and a 21, so a 46. Plus an 18, so a 64. Now here comes a 64. And a 6. So a 70, 72, and a 74, 76, and a 78, and an 80. We'll put them up in the first. An 80 takes the lead with the Gliding Glaciers. Our fourth team up will be Oceanics, with your Captain Ocean leading them, then Sea, Shore, and lastly, Aqua. Ooh. Going pretty far is Aqua. You're going to get a finisher technique point. not an actual finisher, but a finisher. Technique point is worth a lot. So first, after technique points, you have a 28. Then you come down here with a 16. To put them at a 44. Get that 44 to a 14, which is a 56. And then lastly, Ocean unfortunately didn't do too well. Which is, so with that, got a 44, then a 58, and then a 64. That one at the bottom is a 69. Then a 71 and a 73, 75, 77, and 79. Ooh, they're just one off. They got one more technique point. They would be in first, but they're right behind the Goliath Glaciers with a chance at a medal. Our fifth runner will be the Indigo Stars, with their captain Jago, and then Coco, then Bingo, and last but not least, Indy. How will they do? Definitely not the greatest separation, but we're going to have one late one to a run that could have used a little bit better of a late one. Got a little bit of him on the top side, but it kind of just died down. Technique points, and all that much goes our way. And really, maybe they should have fixed that separation and not had Indy lagging behind. It's going to be actually a score of 14 and a score of 13 for those top two. So a 27 plus that 9. We'll put them at 36. And lastly, it's at 7. Put them at 43. And those 3 technique points, we'll put them at a 49. That's dead last for the Indigo Stars. Not what they needed. Now, our 6th team up will be the Bumblebees. They actually also sit in 6th in the standings, but they're definitely hoping to climb today and not drop down any more than they have. Bumble, their captain, will be leading them, followed by Bees and Honey and Swax. Swax got a little bad separation. Honey! They're going to count that as a finish since it went past the finish line. Technique points wise, I mean, a finisher definitely helps them. He already knows they're not going to be in last with that. So a 40, any finisher is worth a 40 no matter how far you go. Plus a 14, so a 54. Plus a 13, so a 67. Plus Bumble's 9. We'll put them at a 76. End up getting 2 technique points with that. So a 78 and an 80 ties them with first. Now here's the thing. There can be a lot of tiebreaker matches. And we're going to have our first one. And the way it's going, it could be gold. But that is saying that one more technique point would have done it, just like for the Oceanics. We'll be trying a new camera angle here. Next up, also, we have the Cobalts. We'll be going to order of 0, then Cerulean, then Meepo, and lastly, Royal. Ooh, it's not a good run by the Cobalts. Ooh, if we get 2 techniques, actually, I'll have that yes. That will help. But I don't know if that will actually be good enough to even have a professional podium. I mean, their farthest was the Meepo at a 14. And then there's a 10 here. I'll have to then this side, we'll get that to 24. There's a 12 there and 11 there. So 23, and then that makes a 47. Then a 49, a 51. Then those last two make it a 53 and a 55. They'll be behind the Thunderbolts. They will not be medaling, and they could lose spots based off of their finish today. Our next team up, and our 8th team, so middle of the way, to honor goes to the Shining Squirm. They don't know what orders are going to go in. They have their free-for-all strategy of just doing it. It worked. So, here, they did it. It maybe could have been a little bit better. Now, let's take a look at some of the scores. So, Spurs won, but there. That will be counted as a 22 by the judges. We'll zoom back out here. It was a 16, so it was 38. Was your second marble. a 9, and a 7, so a 16. To add to that, 38, a 54, so then there's a 56, a 58, a 60, and a 62. They could get a top 5 finish, but that's about it almost. Now our 9th team up is considered to be the best of them. They have the record, and up to this point, the only team to actually get a finisher, Crazy Cat's Eyes, with Cyanide, Blue Eye, Yellow Eye, and Red Eye as their order. Oh, well, they get 2 finisher technique points. I don't think I've seen that, but other than that, that's it. From the team who put on a show on everything they did in the qualifiers, the king of the Hazers even came to see it themselves, and that's actually the run where they got the finisher. That's it. Took a zoom in. I shot almost to see where exactly they placed. An 18 there, adds to a 17 there, so a 35. 2 10s for Cyanide and Blue Eye, so a 45. And then those 2 finisher points will be getting them each 5 points, so 10 points. A 55 ties them with the Cobalts. I'd say that the king would be disappointed. Their king would be disappointed. You've disappointed their fans today, unfortunately. Our 10th team up will be the Java Chunks. Their team is not that great overall in this event. However, Ice, who will be going third in this after coffees and chocolate, and then last but not least cream, he is known to be one of the best balancers. So let's see if Ice can do it today with the rest of his team. And they wish maybe they had a redo on that one. Take a look at where exactly they all placed. 3 technique points, but not a good finish for him. Those 2 will be classified as 14s by the referees. So a 28 plus a 10 is a 38, plus a 9 is a 47, and you add those 3, a 53. You cannot podium in this event. Ice went the farthest, but that's a disappointing result even for him. This is not a great run by the Java Chunks, unfortunately, today. Our next team up will be the Minty Maniacs, going in the order of Minty Flav, Minty Drizzle, Minty Fresh, and Minty Swirl. And, a lot of runs that came a little bit later, but I don't think this will be a bad points haul for them in this event and in this run. Let's see. So a 21 will be the score for the first marble horse got a technique point. A 15 and a 16, so a 31 plus a 21 would make a 52. Their last run is classified by the referees as a 9, so a 61 plus 4 technique points makes an 8, so a 69. They can't medal in this event, but a top 5 could be a result for them. Our next team up has to do well, or they will be eliminated. That's right, we have the Limers. Sublime and Slime Lime. So Glue Lime and Lime Lime is their order, and they hope that they can do well enough to live another day in the championship. Let's see if they can. Ooh. Not the greatest results. Fans are on the edge of their seats, hoping that the Limers did not just blow it. They might have. Let's see, they're going to classify that as a 14 or a 15. Ooh, actually, that's tough. Judges say it's a 15, but the other one there is a 14. The 29 plus a 6, so it's 35. Oh, and there also we missed that. A 48. 2 bonus points make it a 52. 52. That may have just eliminated them from championship contention. The fans hoped that the last runners do bad. Our 13th team up is 13. Sometimes 13 proves to be a bad number. This team does hope that 13 is a good number because they are struggling a little bit on this championship. The White Wolves. We start with Howl leading them. Then they'll be shortly followed by Bites, then Predator, and last but not least, Pride. Okay. Not a bad run. Let's see where it shook out. It's got 4 technique points, if I'm not mistaken. That could help. So the top one will be classified as an 18 or a 19. The judges call it an 18 or a 19. I think that's a 19. And yes, it is a 19 apparently. Plus a 29 combined from those two. Put them at a 48. 48 gets added up to a 10, so a 58. And then you have those 4 technique points, so a 66. Puts them behind the Minty Maniacs. A top half finish is reasonable, considering where we're at. But you never know. Our antepenultimate or third to last runner, or in other words, our 14th runner will be the Hazers. Our championship leaders hope to maybe establish it, because if they don't, some teams are here going in the last 2 spots. It'll be led by Hazy and then Misty, then Foggy, and last but not least Smoggy. Off. Ooh, late runs, but starting off, that did not look too good. So first up, that'll be a 28, followed by an 11, so a 39. Plus that 9, so that will put them then after that 9, after that, so a 48, and also for Hazy a 9, so a 57, and under 4 technique points, put about a 65, so they'll be just off the White Wolves, so you have to hope that Team O and the Turtle Sliders don't do too well. And now, our penultimate runner is ready to go. They're also one of our most consistent runners, getting only top 5 finishes in the last 6 events. Yep, that's right, it's the Turtle Sliders. But can they keep that up today? Since some of the top teams did show up, but not all of them did. Meaning that, can they take advantage of the opportunity they've been given, or will they give it away? Let's see what the Turtle Sliders can do. Shelly brought in a good run later in, but that doesn't look super great. So let's maybe get a better look at this. So Shelly will score a 22, plus a 6 there, so a 28, an 11 and a 10, so 21 adds it out, 49, and then that means 55. So 55, that's definitely not good. That's going to tie them with Crazy Cat's Eyes and Cobalts. But that's not a top 5 position. In fact, if they lose that, it could be a bottom 5. Turtle Sliders, it's all going wrong for them here. Shelly couldn't save it. And your last runner for the day will be none other than Team Momo, second in the overall standings. They have a chance to win. They want to get in a piece of the top 3. Otherwise, it'll be the same 3 podiumers of top 5 of the event 5. If they want to get a piece of that, though, they have to score at least a 79 and 2 well here. Momo, and Mimo will be fighting hard today. She came off a gold medal. Can they build up momentum? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's find it out. They're off. And it doesn't really look like they'll be challenging for the gold tier. The question is, what position could they be looking at? Because so far we have 2 ties. Could they make it 3? A 25, a 20 there, and a 17 there, so it's 37. That's 38. And then there, what's that, 38 is a 49. A 53. We will have our third tie of the day, but it will not be for any good position. it will be to avoid finishing 14th. That is not what Team Momo wanted. Their fans are definitely disappointed here. This run will not be scoring them any good. So Java Chunks will be trying to avoid 14th, but in order to do so, they're going to have to get a good result in this tiebreaker match against Team Momo. Java Chunks is first one. Oh! Cream will come in clutch. I would think they maybe have to be fighting for a bad spot, considering where they finished here. So they will get a finisher technique point, and besides that finisher, also 4 others. Man, they're setting the bar high. There's a bar. You're gonna have to jump high to jump it. So besides that 40, then you have a 16 there, so a 56 plus an 11, so a 67. 67 plus a 9 for coffee. So we'll put them at an 76. Plus that finisher technique point, so an 81. Plus those also 4 technique points. So an 89. Now they did that in the real thing, they'd be the champions. But here, Team Momo's gonna have to match an 89 to be able to beat them. Team Momo has to top an 89, or they will only pick up 2 points. Can they get 30? This is going to work very, very hard. It doesn't look like it. Yeah. Either way, Momo's back to the 6, and Momo also will be getting a score of 6, which puts him at a 12. A 15 and a 14 help as much as it kind of could to a 41. 4 technique points. So a 49 to an 89. A blowout victory for the Java Chunks in overtime to pick up 13th. Yeah, it's 13th. But they wanted it, and they got it. Now the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Heard a bell for 10th at max, 12th at lowest. They had the record. They're battling here. But let's see if they give up, or if they put in their role. Cat's Eyes. Considering the team who broke records, it's a little bit disappointing of a run for them, but no less, not terrible. So here, that's going to be a 17 for Blue Eye. That's 17 for Blue Eye plus a 14 for Red Eye, so it's 31. Plus a 12, so 31 plus a 12 makes a 43, plus a 6, so a 49, plus 5 technique points, a 59. We'll see if it does anything against the other 2 teams, Cobalts and Turtle Sliders. Next up is the Cobalts. Try to top the 59 of the Crazy Cat's Eyes. We'll see if they can do it. This here, you're actually going to go in the same order. So he's getting around a brief fall from Royal, but he is okay. It's a decent run, but I felt like it could have been better. A 17 for Royal actually leads to Cobalt, so no real injuries despite him falling down. Falling down is not very helpful on a balance beam, but nonetheless, he made use of it. He's able to work around it. 57 was out the technique points. For technique points, he got 3. So a 63 will put him ahead of the Crazy Cat's Eyes, but will it top whatever the Turtle Sliders do? The Turtle Sliders can dethrone the Cobalts from 10th place. Dashed and crushed and squirt then Shelly. Knocking some. Oh, no. Man. That went downhill for Squirt. I don't know if you guys saw that. We'll show it here. He rolled off. That will be counted as a 0. Now what they needed was a not so great run. I mean, you got 3 technique points, but that's more like a run you'd rather have practice. 20 29, 35. Yeah, they need a score to finish. They'll be getting 12s, but the Kobolds walk away with 10s. And now, the most important battle. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not if I am, but first place is what matters the most, mostly, in an event. The Glide Glaciers will be going up first to see if they can make a score the Bumblebees can't match or defeat. Glide, it's in Glace, it's in Glacy, and then Glacier. They hope that they can dethrone everybody and win. Glide Glaciers, ooh, their last two really worked together. Technique points wise, that's not super great, but overall, that's not a bad strategy. Just like Glacy and Glacier, I don't know if you guys saw that entirely from that camera angle. We've been trying to keep it smooth all the video. That'll combine for 44 points, 51 when you include Zeron and Glides. Put it at 60. The 2 technique points puts it at 64. Their other two could have been better. Those last two, like if they actually all did that, maybe they would get very low on technique points, but averaging 22, that would put them at 88. They would be the winners. But 64, see if the Bumblebees can better that. The Bumblebees have struggled the last few events. People look at the Bumblebees 5, 10, 50 years from now. The silver could just be overlooked. But a gold medal as a team would make up for everything that hasn't gone right in the last few events. What story was the Bumblebee's color? We'll see. Ooh, they tried to work together as a team. They hit a bump in the road and they split. I don't know. It was like they bumped up against that technique point and Swax and Honey split directions. That's an interesting run. I'm gonna give one of them a 20, Swax a 23, but Honey a 24, to 47. What's a 15 there? 62 and 69. We'll just add the technique points for fun. 71, 73, and 75. Count them all up. And the Bumblebees have made up for their mistakes in the last few events, taking the gold medal in balancing. What a way to rebound. Here we have the podium ceremony of event 12. It's balancing. In dead last place was the Indigo Stars, who they and the Libers will have to pay a very actual but small but true consequence. T-Momo doesn't, but that was not a good finish for him in this event. These are for the Java Chunks, Turtle Sliders, the Crazy Cats and Kobolds, Thunderbolts, Shining Swarm, and the Hazers, White Wolves, Minty Maniacs, up to our 4th place, Early Yellow, 3rd place, Oceanics, 2nd place, Glide Glaciers. But your winner is the Bumblebees, who made up for some not so great finishes. Let's head over, let's get after we review all of this, to the notebook recap. Here's the notebook recap of event 12, balancing. The Bumblebees got their revenge in their finest way, beating the Glide Glaciers and Oceanics, so let's see other teams. Do you have a look at your points? We're there and you head the overall standings after event 12. Hazers continue to lead, but the Bumblebees jump up to 2nd. Remember how we said the Indigo Stars paid a consequence to Libers? It was a mighty big one. None of them can win the championship. Actually, Libers can't even podium. All your key scores and your points for every single team. And then your MVP ladder has Shore leading, now followed by Swax, Lightning, Meepo, Foggy, Bee, Mimo, and Dash. That's the key for one sad face is that you cannot win. 2 sad faces, you cannot podium overall. Thank these athletes who are over here for competing, and thank you for watching. I'm Cole Singfi, checking out.